All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome for our first abs and core class of the new year. Thank you all for joining me. I am your health fitness instructor, Quinn Gabler with Exercise at Exos. Today, we're going to be doing our usual two-circuit ab routine. Start with a little bit of a warm-up and then finishing off with some stretching. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started here by doing some knee hugs to gently warm up our glutes and our hamstrings. So we're just going to pull our knee up to our chest, nice and easy, leaning forward, bending down, and pulling that knee up as we stand back up. So just kind of starting to move a little bit and getting nice and mobile through the movement here. Let's go one more here and done. Okay, next up, we've got our hamstring sweep. So we're going to stand nice and tall with one foot out, toes pointed upwards. You're going to reach the hands back behind the hips, scoop all the way through the heel, and stand tall at the end. Scooping down, sweeping up, standing nice and tall. Trying to keep your balance here. Nice. And even. Go ahead and switch legs. Reaching down, scooping all the way through the heel. Last one. And back up. Perfect. Next up, we're going to do our side-to-side lunges. So you're going to get in a stance that's just a bit wider than hip width. And we're just going to gently bend one knee, stretching into the inside of the leg here and pressing back up. So we just want to start warming up those hips a little bit more in a lateral direction, really pressing back and forth. Nice and easy between both feet. We got a few more here. 2, and rest. Good. Next up, we're going to do a little bit of shoulder work. So just so you guys can see me a bit better, I'm going to pop down to my knees here. And I'm going to point my hand out in front like I'm standing down the barrel of a 6-shooter. And I have my hands out in front. And what I'm going to do from this position is I'm going to pull my shoulders back behind my ears and relax them back forward. Okay, so again, I'm just pulling both straight arms back behind the ear, warming up the shoulders, pulling them down towards the hip, and again, back behind the ears. And just gently moving very casually through this little bit of motion here. Let's go a few more. Really pinching those shoulder blades together, keeping your shoulders nice and low away from the ear, and done. Next up, we're just going to do a little bit of arm circles. So we're going to have our arms nice and wide out to the side, and we're just going to gently start moving them forward into small circles. Each time going around, just getting incrementally bigger and bigger. And finally, we're fully big. And stop. Going the other way. Fully big. Fully big. Smaller and smaller. Getting nice and tight. Little circles as we finish out. Okay, last little part of our warm-up here, we're just going to do quick little eccentric kneeling push-up. So we're going to be on our hands and knees here. I'm going to put my hands down on the ground directly below my shoulders, and we're going to move through the push-up form here by just folding the elbows back towards the hips, lowering the chest to the ground, and pushing quickly back up. So we're going nice and slow as we come down, really controlling the weight as we lower our chest, even weight between both hands, and a quick press back up. If you're having trouble with the press, you can always come down, relax, and get yourself back up. But try and go nice and slow down, and then a quick press up. Good, let's do one more. And up. All right, nice job. Next up, we're gonna get into our first circuit here. So we just finished our warm up, and now we're gonna get into a little bit of work. So the first one we're gonna do are gonna be alternating plank extensions. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pop up into an upright plank position on our hands. And from there, we're gonna extend out a hand, a foot, another foot, and a hand going in a circle around, and then we're gonna switch directions. So it's gonna look like this. We're gonna pop up into that plank position, get your feet a little wide. You wanna be nice and stable here. You're gonna pick up, raise one hand, pick up, raise one foot, other hand. Now we're gonna go the same hand, back to the feet in the other direction, picking up the hands and switching direction, coming back around. And now we're going back clockwise through each one. Let's go one more time each direction. And done. Good. Next up, we've got 30 seconds of mountain climbers. So we're going to stay in that upright plank position, popping the knees up off the floor and driving the knee up to the chest at a quick, rapid pace, trying to keep our hips level with our shoulders, nice and stable all the way through. Keep driving, keep pushing, keep those hips nice and flat. A few more seconds. And rest. Good. Next up, we're going to go into our dead bugs. So you guys are going to lay flat on your back with your knees and feet up. Your hands are going to be placed on top of the knees, and we're going to alternate our hands and feet, extending opposite hand with the foot out. As we come down, give a quick little tap to the ground and pop right back up. Alternating opposite sides, extending opposite hand and foot. Really trying to work into the hips and those core muscles sitting right on top of the pelvis and that lower abdomen right below the belly button. Let's go a few more and rest. Good. All right, next up, we have our rotating tees. Okay, so we're going to start in a seated position. Knees about halfway between fully bent and extended. So just a slight bend there. You're going to get your back straight, chest to like pointing to the corner of the room here. So where your ceiling meets the wall. You want you to point your chest right into that corner. You're going to extend the arms out to the side and rotating back behind. You're going to reach behind you and up towards that ceiling, corner meeting spot, twisting back and forth as we move through here. Keeping that chest up, spine nice and straight. Very good. A few more. And rest. Good. All right, we're gonna finish up here with 20 seconds of a side plank on each side. So go ahead and lay down onto your hips. Get your elbow below your shoulder, feet extended out. Top hand on top of your hip. And we're gonna press the hips and knees up off the ground, getting up into our plank and holding for 20 seconds here. Trying to keep those hips up, sucking that hip up towards the ceiling. Nice and stable through the shoulder. As we're pressing through here, got a couple more seconds. Keep holding high. Very good, and rest. We're gonna switch sides, getting the other arm down, flipping over, back onto the other side, and popping up. Holding those hips up. Getting that nice extension line from the shoulder, through the hips, through the knees, through the heels. As we hold up here, just got a few more seconds. And rest. Good. All right. Quarter of the way there. We're going to go back to the top of that circuit with our plank extension. So we're going to get down to a plank position with our hands on the ground, below the shoulder, knees up, spread the feet out for stability. We're going to pick up the left hand, left foot, and right hand as we move around in a circle and then back the other direction. Picking each one up by itself, trying to get balance, movement, and extension all the way through. Last one through. Feet up, hands, and rest. Good, nice job. Next up, we've got those mountain climbers. So, no shoulders are tired, but we just got a little bit of push here. So we're gonna pop up into that same plank position, and we're gonna drive the knees up to the chest, quickly, rapidly, really getting a nice drive up to the chest, pushing the ground away from us as we keep the chest and body up off the ground, hips level with the shoulders. Just got a few more seconds here. Keep driving, keep pushing, and rest. Good. All right, now we're flipping over onto our back here. We've got a set of those dead bugs. So, feet and knees up in the air, hands on the knees. We're extending out opposite hand and leg and alternating each side as we come down, tap the ground, and pop right back up into that position. Extending all the way through the opposite sides, fingers all the way through the toes. Let's get a few more here. And rest. Good. Next up, we've got our rotating tees. Okay, so sitting up, getting into that halfway knee bend position, pointing the chest to the corner of the wall, extending our arms out to the side and rotating, reaching back behind us and up into the corner, getting a nice line from fingertip to fingertip and holding that as you swing through, rotating side to side. Giving a nice hold and twisting the other direction. Very good. Trying to keep those knees together, chest nice and upright. Got a few more here. And rest. Good. Okay, next up, we've got our side planks. So down on our sides, hips on the ground, elbow below the shoulder. We extend the feet out, knees come up, and we're up. Holding, really squeezing those hips up toward the ceiling. Trying to push them nice and high, getting stable and holding strong. Just a few more seconds here. And down, good. Switching sides. Getting our feet out, shoulder above the elbow, and popping the knees up, hips up, nice and flat, straight line from the shoulder through to the heels. Holding strong, staying up. A few more seconds. And rest. Good. All right. Halfway through, we're going to start our second circuit here now. We've got bird dogs to start things off. So we're going to get into a nice quadruped position here. Got our hands directly below the shoulders, knees directly below the hips, pressing the ground away as we enter this kneeling position. And same thing as the dead bugs, we're going to extend out opposite hand and foot, but we're going to hold at the top and then slowly come back down. And we're going to stay on the same side here. So we're going to do about 5 on the same side, and then we're going to switch, okay? Giving a nice little pause and hold at the top, really feeling that line connection from toe to fingertip. Last one here, and then we're going to switch. Getting the opposite hand and foot out on the alternate side, whichever one you did first. Really extending those toes and fingertips out as far as they'll go. Feeling that line connection from left to right. Let's go one more. And done. Okay. Next up, we've got our leg lifts. So we're going to lie flat on our backs with our feet extended out. You're going to take your hands, just slightly place them underneath your hips. Take a little bit of pressure off your low back, get a little bit more leg leverage. And we're going to sweep the toes up, trying to get them past our head and nice and slowly back down. In control. Good. Nice and easy. Just one big sweep. And coming back down. Let's get a few more in here. You can take your hands out from underneath the back for a little bit of added challenge if you're feeling up to it. And rest. Good. Next up, we have, what do we have? We have our bike crunches. All right, so staying flat on our backs. We're going to bring our hands up behind our head, elbows bent, and we're going to crunch up, twisting, bringing one knee to the opposite elbow as we move back and forth here, getting a little bit more rotational work, alternating sides. At a nice even pace, not going so fast that you lose control, but not going so slow that you're not working. Finding that nice Goldilocks zone and rest. Whew. Those got me. All right. Next up, we have our glute bridges. Okay, so we're gonna get our hips and heels a little bit closer together, bending the knees here. So I've got my heels kind of right below my knees, so that when I drive my hips straight up into the bridge, there's not any stress on the knee joint. All of the force is going straight down through the heels, and we're lowering gently and popping right back up for a hold, trying to get a straight line from the shoulder through the hips, through the knee, giving a nice hold at the top, lowering back down, and then popping straight back up. Up. Good, really trying to get those lower abs engaged as well, pulling those hips up to the ceiling. We got a few more here. And down, good. All right, next up, we have our Supermans. So we're gonna flip over onto our stomach. Hands out in front, like you're flying across the sky. We're gonna pick the hands and feet up, pulling the shoulders back, heels to the back of the head, keeping those legs straight, squeezing all the way at the top and coming down and popping back up, holding. Just like we were in those glute bridges, trying to get nice, even extension. All the way from the fingertips through the toes, squeezing the shoulders back down towards the hips. We got a few more here. Last one, up and down. Good. All right, to finish out this circuit, we're gonna do a 30-second plank. So from this laying down position, we're gonna get your elbows underneath the shoulders, and we're gonna pop the hips up off the floor into a nice and tall plank position. Getting our hips up, sucking the belly button into the spine, getting our hips level with the shoulders, pushing the shoulders away from the ground with our elbows. Nice and tall, nice and high. Just a few more seconds. We're holding a nice, strong, pillared plank. And down. Good. All right. 75%. Almost done. We got one more time through with our last little circuit here. And then, oh, sorry, I'm coming on. Then we just got a little bit of stretching. All right, so back at the top, we're gonna do our bird dog. So hands directly below the shoulders, knees directly below the hips. We're gonna extend opposite hand and leg out, holding up at the top. And remember on this one, we're gonna stay on the same side. Coming back down for just a second. Almost just brushing your knee and hand across the ground and coming straight back up. Really getting strong stability through the left and right planted knee and hand there. Let's go one more. And done. All right. Extending out, hand and knee. Opposite sides. Nice even pace as we work here, giving a little bit of a hold at the top, brushing that hand and knee down and extending back out. As we get a good hold here. Let's go one more after this. and rest. Good, all right. Next up, we're gonna do our leg lifts. So flipping over onto our back, we're gonna extend the legs straight out, sweeping up to the ceiling and lowering gently as we come back down. Everything in nice, even control. Trying to extend those toes out as far as they'll go. Really getting into the lower abdominals there. And working the hip flexors a little as well. Few more seconds of this. 3, and rest. Good. Next up, we've got those bike crunches. So hands coming up behind the head. We're gonna go opposite knee to opposite elbow, crunching up as we twist, giving a tap, and lowering back down. Nice and in control on the way back down, not just giving out. Make the exercise about the whole movement, not just the up phase. Good. Few more seconds. And rest. Very good. All right. What do we have next? So we've got our glute bridges, okay? So we're gonna get our feet flat on the floor, heels directly below the knees, driving the hips up, holding at the top, getting a nice line all the way through the shoulders, through the hips, through the knees, coming back down and popping straight back up. Holding at the top for about 5 seconds, and then lowering back down. Let's go one more. And rest. Next up, we're flipping over for Supermans, right? Working the back side of our shoulders, our back, our legs, everything, all right? So hands out in front, hands and feet pop up off the ground, getting that chin up, pulling the shoulders down towards the hips, extending all the way from the toes out to the fingertips, and lowering back down and up, holding nice and high up at the top, squeezing those shoulders up, hold, 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 and lower, up again, pinching back up at the top, hold, 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 and down. All right, 99% of the way there. Last little 30 seconds here. We're gonna get our plank on, all right? So elbows below the shoulders, feet together, knees straight, and popping the hips up. Sucking the belly to the spine, getting those hips nice and level with the shoulder, and just holding a nice flat back, pressing the ground away from you with your elbows and your toes, keeping those shoulders and hips nice and level, and tucking the belly button up to the spine. A few more seconds, and rest. All right, nice job, everybody. Thank you for participating today. I hope you enjoyed the workout. Just got a quick little stretch for you as we finish things out. First thing we're gonna do is a hurdler stretch. So I'm gonna have my legs out in front, pull one knee back, and then kind of lean back into the hip there as I stretch out that leg, pulling that foot into the hip, getting a nice little stretch. If you can, go ahead and lay all the way back down onto the ground. If not, just sit here, give things a chance to stretch and cool out. Go ahead and switch sides. Pulling that foot back towards the hip and leaning back down. Okay, extend out, good. Last little one here is just gonna be our hamstring stretch. So legs straight out in front. Start the hands at the knees. You're gonna reach all the way down the shin. Tuck your hands underneath the leg. And as you straighten out the leg, try and pull your chest down to your heels. Really stretching out the hamstrings and the lower back there. You can get all the way to the toes and the feet. Go ahead and find your range. Just make sure you're stretching out there. Okay, a few more seconds. And done. Great job. All right, thank you guys so much for hopping in. I hope you enjoyed the workout, had a great time. Got my abs and core class again Thursday at 4 o'clock, same time. I'm also teaching the Wednesday boot camp at noon and functional fitness Friday at noon as well. Don't forget to check out SharePoint for any other classes you might be interested in. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you later this week.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Have a great one.